This is Crime Recall.
Welcome once again to our world of true crime, where the veneer of everyday life is stripped away, revealing the chilling and eerie heart of darkness that lies beneath. Today, we traverse a tale of deception, a saga of dread, a story that casts a sinister shadow over the very notion of family, love, and trust. This is the nightmarish journey into the lives of the Menendez brothers. Theirs is a story that left the world in shock and forever altered the way we perceive familial bonds. It's a narrative shrouded in greed, marked by betrayal, and stained with the blood of kin. Breathe in, brace yourselves, and prepare for an exploration of the human condition in its most terrifying form. This is not a tale for the faint of heart. This is the brutal unraveling of the Menendez brothers saga. So stay with me as we delve deep into the heart of this darkness, where the innocent facade of family life conceals the unimaginable. To understand the story of the Menendez brothers, we first need to look at the family they grew up in. The Menendez family was headed by Jose Menendez, a Cuban immigrant who had achieved the American dream. Born in Havana, Cuba in 1944, Jose fled to the United States when he was just 16 years old, following the rise of Fidel Castro's communist regime. He initially lived with relatives in Pennsylvania, working hard to support himself and adapt to his new life. Jose studied accounting at Queens College in New York City and later earned an MBA from the University of California, Los Angeles. With his impressive educational background, Jose was able to secure a job at Coopers & Lybrand, a prestigious accounting firm, and quickly climbed the corporate ladder. It was during his time in New York that Jose met Mary Louise "Kitty" Anderson, an aspiring actress from a suburban Illinois family. The two fell in love, and in 1963, they got married. Together, they had two sons, Lyle, born in 1968, and Erik, born in 1970. Over the years, the family moved around the country as Jose pursued his career, eventually settling in the wealthy community of Beverly Hills, California in 1987. On the surface, the Menendez family appeared to have it all. They lived in a sprawling mansion, drove luxury cars, and sent their children to elite private schools. But behind closed doors, there was a dark side to the Menendez family. According to friends and family, Jose was a strict and controlling father who placed enormous pressure on his sons to succeed. He was known for his temper and was often verbally and physically abusive towards his wife and children. Jose's overbearing nature extended to every aspect of his sons' lives, from their education and hobbies to their relationships and friendships. Kitty, on the other hand, was said to be a passive and submissive mother who was trapped in a loveless marriage and struggled with alcoholism and depression. She was described as a socialite who tried to keep up appearances, hosting lavish parties and maintaining friendships with other wealthy families in the community. But deep down, she was deeply unhappy and felt trapped in her life. As for the Menendez brothers, Lyle and Erik, they grew up in the shadow of their father's expectations. Despite their privileged upbringing, they struggled to find their own identities and were often at odds with their parents. They were known for their rebellious behavior, which included breaking rules and getting into trouble at school. As they got older, the brothers became more and more disconnected from their family, which would ultimately lead to a tragic and shocking outcome. On the evening of August 20, 1989, Jose and Kitty Menendez were brutally murdered in their Beverly Hills mansion. The crime scene was horrific. The couple had been shot multiple times with a 12-gauge shotgun, their bodies mutilated beyond recognition. Jose was shot in the head and chest, while Kitty, who appeared to have attempted to flee, was shot multiple times in the legs, arms, and chest before receiving a final fatal shot to the head. At the time of the murders, Lyle was 21 years old and Erik was just 18. They claimed to have been at the movies when the murders took place and returned home to find the gruesome scene. In a frantic 911 call, Lyle told the operator, "Somebody killed my parents," and sobbed uncontrollably.
Someone killed my parents. Pardon me? Someone killed my parents.
The investigation into the murders began immediately. With no signs of forced entry or robbery, detectives started to focus on the possibility of a family member being involved in the crime. But it wasn't until several months later that the true nature of the murders would be revealed. The initial focus of the investigation was on potential business rivals or enemies, but with little progress being made, the authorities began to shift their attention towards the brothers. In October 1989, Erik Menendez began seeing a psychologist named Dr. Jerome Oziel. During their therapy sessions, Erik made a shocking confession. He and his brother Lyle had killed their parents. Dr. Oziel's girlfriend at that time, Judalon Smith, overheard the confession and informed the police. This controversial decision to break doctor-patient confidentiality would play a significant role in the case moving forward. As a result, on March 8, 1990, Lyle and Erik Menendez were arrested and charged with the murders of their parents. The brothers were taken into custody separately, Lyle during a traffic stop in Beverly Hills, and Erik, who had been competing in a tennis tournament in Israel upon his return to Los Angeles. The trial of the Menendez brothers began in July 1993 and was one of the first high-profile cases to be broadcast on live television. The nation was captivated by the story of two wealthy, privileged brothers who had brutally killed their own parents. The prosecution, led by Deputy District Attorney Pamela Boznick, argued that the brothers' motive for the murders were simple: greed. They claimed that Lyle and Erik killed their parents in order to inherit their $14 million fortune. The brothers had gone on a lavish spending spree following the murders, buying luxury cars, designer clothes, and even a restaurant. The defense, however, painted a different picture. They argued that the brothers had suffered years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse at the hands of their parents, and that the murders were a desperate act of self-defense. The trial was filled with shocking revelations, including allegations of incest and claims that Jose had molested both of his sons. The defense attorneys, Leslie Abramson and Jill Lansing, portrayed the brothers as victims who had been pushed to the brink by their abusive parents. The jury was ultimately unable to reach a unanimous verdict, resulting in a mistrial. A second trial began in 1995, this time with the defense focusing solely on the abuse claims. The prosecution, now led by David P. Kahn, remained steadfast in their belief that the brothers had killed their parents out of greed. On March 20, 1996, after a lengthy trial and deliberation, the jury found Lyle and Erik Menendez guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. They were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The verdict was met with mixed reactions. Some believed that justice had been served, while others felt that the brothers had been unfairly vilified by the media and the prosecution. The Menendez brothers maintained that they killed their parents out of fear and desperation, and not for financial gain. The case divided public opinion, with many sympathizing with the brothers' claims of abuse, while others argued that their privileged upbringing and subsequent spending spree showed a callous disregard for their parents' lives. Lyle and Erik Menendez are currently serving their life sentences in separate California prisons. Over the years, they have both expressed remorse for their actions and have attempted to come to terms with the impact their crimes have had on their lives and the lives of those around them. In 2005, Lyle married Rebecca Sneed, a magazine editor, in a prison ceremony. Erik also married in 1999 to Tammy Ruth Sackerman, a woman he met through correspondence while in prison. Both couples have maintained relationships through visits, letters, and phone calls, with their respective wives advocating for their husband's innocence and the possibility of a new trial. Despite their life sentences, the brothers continue to seek new trials and maintain their innocence, hoping that one day they may be able to walk free. They have participated in several interviews and documentaries, sharing their side of the story and reflecting on the events that led to the brutal murders of their parents. In recent years, the Menendez brothers have been reunited within the same prison, allowing them to rebuild their relationship after years of separation. They continue to work on various appeals and maintain hope that they may one day have the chance to present their case once more to a jury. The Menendez brothers' case is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most picture-perfect family facades. As we reflect on this twisted tale of family, greed, and betrayal, we're reminded that sometimes the most dangerous enemies can be found within our own homes. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Menendez brothers' story. If you found this case as fascinating as we did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime content. Until next time, stay safe and keep your loved ones close.